I hope everybody's having a phenomenal day. I'm having a great day. I did want to tell everybody really quickly before we get to anything else, you can still check out our coaching deal and the consultations that we're doing right now. We have it set up. Give me a second. I'm going to share the link with you, motherfuckers. Let me get the fucking link. All you calm the fuck down. I'm getting it. Because you guys are fucking irate or something like that. There you go. This is the link to our, you can get a consultation for 33% off, or you can get 3 months worth of coaching. We do this just for the live people, so please do take advantage of it. Also, check out No Morbidity, non-stimulant, non-thermogenic-based appetite suppressant, safe and effective. Unlike these crazy drugs that they got people clamoring for to lose weight, that are 15 to 20% claims of body mass loss in 68 to 72 weeks. We have people claiming 15 to 20% in 4 to 6 months. They also have massively high side effect profile where we have none. So $39.99 a month or $1,300 a month. You pick. Link in the description box below. Today we're going to, hang on a second. Oh, no, I didn't. Today we're going to talk about basically part 2 of these people basically trying to walk back everything that happened in the last 3 years. So not too long ago, I mean, everybody's been around for the last 3 years. It's odd because like there's certain things I need to talk about that happen in different countries because I have clientele all throughout the fucking world, right? We coach people in Japan, Australia, California, right down the road in Florida. We're worldwide. And normally it's like I have to be more specific of what's happening in your area. But for the last 3 years, we all know that what's been happening around the world when it comes to this pandemic virus and everything like that. For those of you that are new here, if you've just really started watching recently, I've never changed my stance on any of this shit. And I called what was happening 100%. I mean, it's been the last couple of years have been one big long line of I told you so. And if you don't agree with my take on the actual data presented, I don't care because it's on the data presented. If you can present the data in a different way to me or make me see the data in a different way, I'm open-minded. If you just want to boil it down to I was scared and wanted to stay in, that's your fucking right to. But I have said from the very beginning that this was a new cold virus that we knew was less deadly to people under the age of 65 than the seasonal flu. And it doesn't matter what their comorbidities were. The way we were counting this massively inflates the number of people, that's the number of victims to this. There's a huge difference between with and of. None of it made sense from the very beginning. I was not falling for it. I was not having it. This was a huge power grab, huge power and money grab by people, period. Okay? Like there should have never been a state of emergency declared, ever. With the massively inflated numbers, the massively inflated statistical numbers, obesity still killed more people than this in the last 3 years. It's not even an argument. It's like with the massively inflated numbers, And not too long ago, there was somebody basically calling for amnesty. Remember the big thing? There was going to be pandemic amnesty because that's what we should be doing. Is declaring pandemic amnesty because it's coming out now that people were in fact very fucking wrong. Like the people like myself, Mark Loveliner, my wife, who said like, hey, this is a cold. If you're sickly, you should try to get as healthy as possible. If you're elderly, like the thing is, people were at no more risk than what they normally were. Like if you are very seriously at risk of COVID, you're very seriously at risk of the flu, of a cold, of everything like that. Like your life shouldn't have changed all that fucking much. I mean, you should have already, if you would be passing away of this thing, this cold, you should be scared of everything else. And the people that weren't in 2020 shouldn't have been made to feel afraid. We should have informed people there's a new cold virus. You should try to be healthy. It's harder on fat people, elderly people, immunocompromised people, just as every other communicable disease is. We should have just gone about our fucking lives. Like, there's never a reason ever to turn off the Constitution, which was my main point from the very beginning. Freedom is freedom. I don't give a fuck how dangerous it is. I'd rather have dangerous freedom than fucking safe slavery. because slavery is not safe. What we're doing now is not safe, right? But if you want to take a look at it, there's several things that came out today. One of them is the Newsweek's article. There is also, just in case everybody wants to, like, just to be very fucking, I mean, to put this as realistic as possible. Give me a second. Just to be as realistic as possible about all this stuff. There's also an analysis of 40 random controlled trials on masks for COVID and flu infection, and they find that masks increase in risk of infection by 1%. That's all they do. Like I've said for the entire time, that people wearing masks the way they are is actually a detriment to society. It's going to increase infection. I was right again. So this is going to be about an hour's worth of I fucking told you so. And if you don't fucking like it, I don't fucking care. If you or anybody else has a problem with me fucking running a victory lap about I fucking told you so for 3 fucking years about something that, like, many of you were openly willing to just trash all of society for, too fucking bad. Don't fucking listen. And YouTube, if you strike this down, great. But I was right. Anybody that questioned it was fucking wrong. I mean, I said, I used to teach a class on how to properly put on and take off a mask. None of that was being done, likely increasing the chances of infection. They don't stop viral spread. 6 feet was always a completely made up bullshit number. Completely. Masks do not stop viral fucking spread because they do not stop aerosolized vapor. If you can smell through it, it does no good to stop viruses at all. It was moronic. Most of the people that were at high risk of this cold virus were at high risk of every motherfucking thing. The average age was in line with that of life expectancy, and people that were passing away mostly had multiple other comorbidities. This had a very highly defined at-risk group at the very beginning. We should have warned them and moved the fuck on with society. Because nothing we've done, like, people are like, well, we should have tried. Anything you tried was not going to stop this. You are not going to stop nature. The best thing you can do is be as healthy as possible. Nobody really took this seriously. Like, we're coming out right now and it's like, oh, well, we finding out that masks don't work. It doesn't matter. Nobody took it seriously anyway. If you're 300 pounds now, you didn't take this shit seriously. If you're still fat as fuck, which most of the fucking country is, you didn't take it seriously at all. Like, for me to in any way view us as of taking this seriously, if you're fat still, if you're overweight, you did not take it seriously at all whatsoever. You didn't look at the data. You didn't check to see like what the risks actually were. You didn't try to discover anything. You just let yourself be lemminged and you were told what to think, and it just fucking kept going on and on and on. Because to be fucking as transparent as possible, all of you sounded fucking foolish for the last 3 fucking years. You sounded like fucking morons. All of you. Every single fucking one of you that said, wear the mask, distance, fucking, the problem is people, the unvaccinated, all this bullshit. It was all bullshit. All of it. You all sound stupid as fuck. I mean, these are the same people that saying like, COVID is the deadliest thing next to fucking next to the fucking bubonic plague. But don't tell Lizzo she's fat because she's so awesome. It's so stupid. Like, you people sound so fucking moronic. I can't even get over it. And this is me saying, I told you so. For 3 fucking years, I told you so. Here's another news one. Here's another good one. And this is from Newsweek. This is fucking interesting. Give me a second. This is a Newsweek article. So here we go. This is on Newsweek. This is an opinion, but look what's being written. I'm going to remind you that what this guy writes 6 months ago would have gotten him deleted from the internet. Literally deleted from the internet. One of the very first community strikes I took was for sharing a snippet of the words of a guy called Dr. John Ioannidis. He is the most cited scientist living on the fucking planet. He is the most aforementioned expert on population health in the fucking world. And his words not only got him silenced, but would get your channel taken down at the beginning of 2020 when he was telling people the infection fatality rate was somewhere likely in line with the seasonal flu, which it fucking has proven to be true. We knew it then, we knew it now. It's time for the scientific community to admit we were wrong about COVID and it cost lives. It's been time for them to admit they were wrong, but no, they will not. They will not. But also, I'm going to say this is the whole story. There was a whole we need pandemic amnesty and forgive each other for things that were said and done. Fuck that. Fuck no. I'm never forgetting. I'm just letting everybody understand it now. I'm never, ever, ever forgetting how stupid many of you were and how fucked up you've made our world. Fucking giving in to all this bullshit. At no point in time should we have ever allowed the government to think that they can tell us to stay in over a fucking cold. It should have never, ever, ever fucking happened. Never. Never. As a medical student and researcher, I staunchly supported the efforts of the public health authorities when it came to COVID-19. So you didn't read the data. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about because you got to be fucking dumb. I believe that the authorities responded to the largest public health crisis of our lives with compassion, diligence, and scientific expertise. They did not. They absolutely did. How did this guy is also saying that we got it wrong. How did they react to it with scientific expertise? Diligence would have required them to actually look at the fucking information. And compassion, we were fucking labeling people as essential and non-essential and telling rape victims that they still needed to wear masks. We were literally telling people that they didn't give a fuck if you had asthma. They didn't give a fuck if you were a sexual assault survivor. They didn't give a fuck any of that shit. Wear your motherfucking mask. Where's the fucking compassion? Where's the compassion for people that lost their motherfucking businesses? Where's the compassion for people that didn't get to hold their fucking grandmother's hand when they died? Where's the compassion for people whose children have only been in masks their entirety of their fucking school lives? Where's the fucking compassion for them? Fuck you and fuck your compassion, you bitch ass punks. Fuck all of you. I'm already pissed off at this fucking article. I was wrong. I was with them when they called for lockdowns, vaccines, and boosters. Why? What the fuck? What? So you don't know shit about shit because lockdowns are always going to cause problems. You cannot just throw the fucking switch on an economy. You dumb fuck. It was always going to cause increased suicides, increased drug overdoses, increased depression, increased obesity. Lockdowns were always going to cause these known problems. We knew that lockdowns would, in fact, make the population in its entirety less fucking healthy. It was not even a fucking question. They just pretended that this fucking cold was worth it. They pretended that getting a cold was worth it, even though they didn't offer any fucking preventative measures, even though they didn't tell you to work out and be healthy, even though they didn't tell you to watch your fucking immune system. We always knew that lockdowns were going to be bad. Vaccines, there's literally no fucking evidence that they work. And they came out way fucking they were literally openly lying, saying they stopped transmission when they had already said that they did not. If you ever said the words unvaccinated people as if they were in some way wrong, you owe each and every one of them a fucking apology because they picked right and you fucking know it. I was wrong. We in the scientific community were wrong and it cost lives. If you were wrong in the scientific community, and I agree that you absolutely were, it cost lives and I absolutely agree with that. We need tribunals because you motherfuckers need to go to jail. You, at best, you, Fauci, anybody else that opined that we should, in fact, close the fucking world down to prevent a cold. If the world acted upon the guidance from public health officials and they are now shown to be, as was shown then by the evidence, wrong, they should be facing life in prison, all of them. They fucked up the world. And now we're just going to be like, oh, my bad. Oh, but see how it was when I was looking at it, I was so sure that you were causing the death of every grandmother alive because you wouldn't wear a fucking diaper on your face. My bad. I can see now that the scientific community, from the CDC to the WHO to the FDA, and this is Newsweek, and their representatives repeatedly overstated the evidence and misled the public about its own views and policies, including on natural versus artificial immunity, which I was like, why the fuck are we not just going for natural immunity? School closures, which didn't do a fucking thing, disease transmission, aerosol spread, mask mandates, and vaccine effectiveness and safety, especially amongst the young. So this person is openly stating that, well, I was given wrong information by the CDC, the WHO, and the FDA, and I'm not saying that you weren't told what the data meant in an incorrect fashion by those entities, because they fucking lied. The CDC, the WHO, and the FDA all fucking lied. They at least lied by omission. Otherwise, we wouldn't have had the President of the United States telling people that if you get these vaccines, you're not going to get COVID. So because here's the thing. They either lied to the people that then disseminated the information that if you get the vaccine, you won't get COVID. You won't get sick. You won't be hospitalized. Those are words that came out of public health officials and the President of the United States, quote unquote, mouth. So either they lied or somebody lied to them. And whoever lied should be in jail at the very best for the rest of their life, if not facing a firing squad. How about them apples? Like, this is just like, oh, we were wrong. Our bad, our bad, our bad, our bad. These people lied to us, but we're not going to hold them accountable, and you can't hold us accountable. See, we're admitting that we lied, and we're admitting that we were wrong because these people told us information that was wrong, but we're not saying that you should be upset at us or upset at them. We're just saying that we were wrong, our bad. Fuck you, all of you. All of these were scientific mistakes at the time, not in hindsight. Amazingly, some of those obfuscated continue to the present day. This is not 3 years worth of just consistent, idiotic fucking misjudgments and mistakes by the CDC, World Health Organization, and FDA. If you believe that this is just 3 fucking years of consistently getting it fucking wrong, you in fact are too stupid to fucking function in society likely. If you think that this has been 3 years of mistakes, you are in fact a fucking idiot. 3 years, like you think this is 3 years of mistakes. You think that all of a sudden us knowing that facial decorations don't work, and then all of a sudden the CDC, the World Health Organization, the FDA saying that you needed to wear a mask, otherwise you were going to kill people. Like they completely did a 180 on that. You think that that was a mistake? It was not based off of anything that would make them actually change their fucking mind besides hysteria and control. There was no all of a sudden radical evidence that stood up to peer review that said that masks did shit. It was just all because fucking the public health officials at the time said to wear the goddamn things. It wasn't until that fucking Lord Fauci was actually saying maybe you should wear too that people are like, what? It's stupid. It's moronic. Masks do not stop viruses. But perhaps more importantly than any individual error was how inherently flawed the overall approach of the scientific community was and continues to be. It was flawed in a way that undermines its efficacy and resulted in thousands, if not millions, of preventable deaths. You killed millions of fucking people because you guys called it wrong, because you openly fucking silenced dissenters, which is actual science. Science is the dissenting opinions about actual data and conversation. They silenced that for what they were sure was right or what they wanted people to think. This person is admitting, and I give them all the credit in the world, admitting that the scientific community was wrong. But we didn't know. Oh, you're a med student, and the World Health Organization, the CDC, and the FDA, we all got it wrong. Well, you're all stupid. I'm smarter than all you motherfuckers then. Like, this is like, well, all these entities got it wrong. The CDC got it wrong. The World Health Organization, the FDA got it wrong. That we all got it wrong. It was a huge, just 3-year nonstop blundering of fucking errors that led to the lives of hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of deaths. We just got it wrong. All these people just got it wrong. Then what the fuck? That I didn't, Mark didn't, my wife didn't. I've been right 100 fucking % of the time down the fucking road about this bullshit. And many other fucking people have. I'm not that special. Many other fucking people have. But they openly silenced me and anybody like me. And now that we're going to admit in this article, we were wrong, and it possibly cost millions of deaths. What we did not properly appreciate is that preferences determine how scientific expertise is used, and that our preference might be indeed our preferences were very different from many people that we serve. We created policy based on our preferences, then justified it using data, and then we portrayed those opposing our efforts as misguided, ignorant, selfish, and evil, even though they could produce data refuting your data based off of your own fucking data. This isn't preference. You lied. You lied. You misrepresented the fucking data. Through our preferences of wanting to control everything you fucking did. This is bullshit. The fucking bullshit. We made science a team sport, and in doing so, we made it no longer science. You didn't make it a team sport. You made it so it was one-sided, because all of social media and mainstream media was dead fixed on silencing anybody that questioned the fucking science. It's not a team sport when the other team can't fucking play. Like, it's not a team sport unless you actually fucking compete. There was no competition. You didn't even, like, people like this motherfucker didn't even want to hear the actual data that was on the website that they were talking about and what it actually meant. Anybody could have looked at the data at the very beginning and realized it was immunocompromised, fat, and elderly people that were at high risk. That anybody else should have gone about their life and tried to be as healthy as fucking possible. That us trashing society to try to protect a very fundamental group of high-risk, obese, and elderly people is only going to damage the rest of society. It sucks, but the people that were doing the dying were going to be doing the fucking dying. In 2020, we didn't even have any excess deaths, even with COVID. The excess deaths started in 2021 when we started giving people the fucking jab. We made science a team sport. I already talked about that. We excluded important parts of the population from policy development and castigated critics, which meant that we deployed a monolithic response according to exceptional diverse nation, forged a society more fractured than ever, and exacerbated longstanding health and economic disparities. You fucked up on purpose. It's on purpose. Our emotional response and ingrained partisanship, there was no ingrained partisanship, prevented us from seeing full impact of our actions on the people we were supposed to serve. Fuck you. Then you're stupid. You are too stupid to do that job. Because again, if I can figure it out and point out everything you were doing wrong and have it be guided out and shown that everything I said was going wrong, went wrong, and the things we should have done in hindsight now were the things I was saying in foresight, then maybe you shouldn't have been in the fucking job you were in. And same with Fauci and these other fucking people. In doing so, we violated the autonomy of those who could be most negatively impacted by our policies. You mean the people that could be negatively impacted by your policies is everybody, because you were fucking wrong. Unbelievable. Most of us did not speak up in support of alternate views, and many of us tried to suppress them. When strong scientific voices like world-renowned Stanford professors John Ioannidis, Jay Bhattacharya, Scott Atlas, and University of California's San Francisco professor Vinay Prasad and Monica Gandhi sounded the alarm on behalf of vulnerable communities, they face severe censures and relentless mobs of critics and detractors in the scientific community, often not on the basis of fact, but solely on the basis of difference of scientific opinion. They fucked the planet because they were paid to. You get that, right? They wanted to control people because they got paid to do so. They wanted to form how society was going to be because they got paid to do so. Now they're trying to walk all this shit back. We already got people saying how COVID at most was only 30% as deadly as we thought it was. The CDC website itself says that the people that have passed away from COVID, only 5% of them have passed away of COVID. The rest were with and 4 other serious comorbidities at the average age of 78. Fucking crazy. When former President Trump pointed out the downside of intervention, he was dismissed publicly as a buffoon. And when Dr. Anthony Fauci opposed Trump and became the hero of the public health community, we gave him our support to do so, saying that he wanted what he wanted, even when he was wrong. over and over and over again, this fucking gremlin is wrong and lies and openly shows he lies. And we fucking still fucking listen to him. And it's Trump's fault for not firing his fucking ass. People can, like, he's not absolved. Operation Warp Speed was a Trump fucking thing. The vaccine hangs on the fucking neck of Trump. Like, just like it does with the other people. He still is advocating for this fucking shit. Fuck him and fuck anybody else that's advocating for this shit right now too. And if you don't like that, I don't give a fuck either. Because I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. Through this entire fucking thing, I have said that I just want to be fucking free. I am a constitutionalist. And at no point in time is a cold worth my freedom. Your safety does not dictate my fucking freedom. Period. Trump was not remotely perfect, nor were the academic critics of consensus policy, but the scorn that we laid on them was a disaster for public trust in pandemic response. The disaster for public trust in pandemic response was how fucking wrong you motherfuckers were. And you were so wrong and then still didn't want to hear any dissenting opinions. That's the travesty. The travesty is you writing this as if like, oh, well, here's where we went wrong. You fucked up. Shut the fuck up. Just be fucking silent. We paid the price. The rage on those marginalized by the expert class exploded onto and dominated social media. Lacking the scientific lexicon to express their disagreement, many dissented turned to conspiracy theories and a cottage industry of scientific contortionists to make their case against the expert class. Even how this is written is fucking crazy. The expert class that got it all fucking wrong, not so expert. The expert class consensus that dominated the pandemic mainstream. There's just the data that you guys were wrong on. It's fucking sad. And despite the fact that pandemic policy was created by a razor-thin sliver of American society who anointed themselves to preside over the working class, members of academia, government, medicine, journalism, tech, and public health who are highly educated and privileged, from this comfort of their privilege, the elite prize paternalship, so now he's trying to separate themselves from these people. Fuck all these people. I was right. They were wrong. I'm going to take questions because fuck them. Delphine, let the truth be told, my faith in humanity will never be restored. Shame on anyone who swallowed a lot of without question. Exactly. Exactly. And thank you for your tip. I appreciate it. The pandemic was used as a stick to beat people into submission. Exactly. Of course, those in control don't want to admit it. I completely agree. Yeah, what we've done to kids in the last couple of years is just fucking, it's just horrific. Like, I mean, they're terrified. Most of them have horribly weak immune systems. We've gotten them all fat as fuck. Like, children are fat as fuck right now. It's ridiculous. Mark's kids are going to fucking rule the fucking world. Because his kids are all fucking competing at high levels in sports and education and everything like that. Kids nowadays, I mean, they're fat, stupid kids with weak immune systems. It's been horrible. For a generation, way longer than a generation. I mean, the repercussions aren't going to linger for just a generation. Wait till a lot of these people that have gotten this jab, wait till the birth effects start in a generation or two. That's how this shit normally works. This will be an I told you so. I don't even want to fucking, anyway. Thank you for dissenting against the establishment. You're very welcome. I had an uncle die and no one could visit him in the hospital. He died alone. That's fucking horrible. And it's completely ridiculous. It's completely moronic. Before 2020, but when I was still in healthcare, I would do weekly meal rounds in ICU units, intensive care units. Never wore a mask. Never. Not one time. Never. I was turned away from medical treatment and my diagnosis delayed for 2 months because I refused to wear a mask. You should sue them. You should absolutely sue them. These people should be held accountable. Like, that's the problem. We're just talking. We are past the stage of talking. People that destroyed our fucking country, destroyed our economy, pretended that the fucking Constitution was not even in existence, told you were essential or not essential, labeled people vaccinated, unvaccinated. These people got to go. These people got to go. They can't be in power. They can't be in office. They got to fucking go. We cannot be like, they'll do it again. You understand that? This is them saying, well, we got it wrong, our bad. 3 years, people fucking losing their businesses, so much shit being told that like the BLM riots are not actual super spreaders, but everything else is. You can't have people over for Thanksgiving, but let thousands of people riot for BLM. That's how stupid shit was. People have forgotten how ridiculous the last 3 years were. The last 3 years have been out and out, full on fucking idiocy. Just stupidity. Masks like trying to stop mosquitoes with a chain link fence. Exactly. It's exactly it. It is. They couldn't have gotten away with it if we hadn't allowed it. I completely agree with that too. Way too many pussies. Trust me. Trust me. When people were fucking sending me death threats and all of a sudden people are like, oh my God, you're so right when it comes to everything obesity, but you have such a bad take on COVID. People telling me to stay in my lane as if I wasn't a healthcare executive. I was right about every fucking thing. I was right about masks. I was right about distancing. I was right about the high risk group. I was right about the immunocompromised being the main target. I was right about the fucking jibby jab. I was right about waiting on that. I was right about saying that the data did not support even a fucking emergency. Because at no point in time did the data in America support a state of emergency over COVID. It just didn't. It's all been a fucking scam. All of it. Every bit of it. Parts of me thinks that my clients who believe people should have been forced to get vaccinated might call me back and want me to work for him again. I'm done. I'm done. What is scary? People still trust the government. That is scary. Fear used to control. Exactly. It was a social experiment in compliance. Now they know they can control the herd. Unfortunately, that's very fucking true. That is very true. Grovel peasants, exactly. Successful performance artists left on the bones of their asses. It was all performance. Oh my God, it's so deadly. I remember seeing Biden be like, "We're talking about our kids. We need to mask in school. We're talking about our kids." What the fuck are you talking about? Like, how are children wearing masks not less healthy because they're gonna be touching it all the fucking time? What the fuck are you even talking about? Like, this was bullshit. All of it. Anybody that ever said we're going to defeat COVID was an open-faced liar. Like, it's an endemic virus. You think we're going to fucking eradicate an endemic cold virus? It is complete and utter bullshit. And it was bullshit from the beginning. None of it made sense. They didn't do anything that made sense. The whole point of science is learning. Yep. I had so many, I barely go on Facebook anymore. Can there be lawsuits? I believe there will be lawsuits against entities, not necessarily against Pfizer and stuff like that, but it should have been treated like every other flu season. Absolutely. It absolutely should have been treated like every other flu season. Beyond a shadow of a doubt in my mind. Like, it should have been treated like every other flu season. I saw a dude doing cardio with a mask on. Fucking pussy. I'd openly laugh at them at this stage. Openly. Like, point and laugh at them. Couldn't agree more. Thank you. And Fauci made money off it. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. A lot. Big Pharma has been killing and maiming human beings for generations. If people haven't gotten that by now, they can't be saved. I completely agree. Andrew Cuomo walks free after deliberately causing the deaths of so many elderly. They're not going to do anything. We need to do something. We, the people, need to do something. We can't just keep, like, they're going to try this again. You see this, right? Like, they're now like being like, oh, our bad, we were wrong. Millions died, our bad. My bad. Millions of people died. My bad. That's some crazy shit. I mean, that's super fucking crazy. That they feel so comfortable. Like, this person felt so fucking comfortable in saying, we fucked up and millions of people died. Like, does nobody else see that, how fucked up that is? Like, in the article, the person's talking about likely millions of people died because we fucked up. And they're still like fucking, well, so this happened and millions of people died, but here's why we're still the authority. Like, that's what it's like. We're still the authority. I'm dictating to you how things went and where we went wrong and what's going to happen next. But we're still the authority. It's fucking insane. These people should all be removed. They should be laughed at. If public health, the CDC, the World Health Organization, the FDA, the USDA, they have either completely shown that they are unbelievably inept and completely unqualified to be doing the job of public health officials, or they are so morally corrupt in misleading people with what they know is wrong that they shouldn't be trusted either. Like, it's one of those, like, they're either completely, totally, like, not qualified to be in the positions they're in and making the judgments that they're making and stating the things that they're stating in how they review the data, or they know what the data says and they're so morally bankrupt that they're saying the opposite. It's one or the other. The entire CDC, the NIH, the USDA, most of the healthcare system in general needs completely fucking scrapped. The CDC is not a function. The CDC is the pharmaceutical arm of the government, along with the FDA. Like, at no point should it be viewed anything differently. It's fucking, what this is crazy talk. The further a scientist drifts into the truth, the more it will hate those who speak it. Yep, I'm down. I'm ready. This is an opinion piece with no hard data. You're right. The data is in the CDC. They're pretty much stating all the data that's been stated before. How about this? Okay. Here's the CDC data. You can clearly see right here. Let's just go to it. You can clearly see for over 5% of these deaths, COVID-19 was the only cause mentioned on the death certificate. So that means 5%, a little over, that actually died of COVID, right? That actually died of COVID. 1,096,000 people in what is likely 40 months at this stage. We're likely at 40 months. Because it was very likely in, the virus was very likely in America in September of 2019, if not early October of 2019. From all the back data that they have, it was very clearly here. So in 30 fucking months, it's killed like less than 1.1 million people. In more than 30 months, in 40 months, obesity has killed many more people than that. This is the actual fucking hard data that shows that they fucked up. I could produce all the fucking data from New York City too, at the very beginning, that showed it was just immunocompromised people, that healthy people weren't passing away from it. This person not bringing up all the data doesn't change the data. You can find the data anywhere. If this data does not say to you, this data right over here, if that does not say to you that in comparison to other things, literally even like obesity, that COVID is a fucking cold. We shouldn't have been fucking worried about it at all. By just trying to be healthier, eat healthier, get better exercise, get proper hydration, it would have done much more for this than anything that they fucking did. More people, more lives, more death was caused by lockdowns, the fucking jibby jabs, and all sorts of shit than that many times over. Many times over. Just in how much fatter people got, that number's going to look small. For real. They had to visit him through. That's sad. They've been doing this type of thing and pushing their lines further and further in the last 60 years. I completely agree with that too. Those masks were proven not even to work. Microscopic germs are still able to pass through, and they're fucking massively unhealthy. Like, you're putting something on and off without sanitizing your hands. You're not sanitizing it. People just take it on and off. They put it down on their chin as if there's not germs on their chin. It is unhealthy to wear masks, how America has worn masks for the last 3 years. Unhealthy. There's no benefit. It is only drawback. One wants to cause fear, usually make a threat of children and women. It's been done for millennia. That's very true also. when children were at almost no fucking risk of COVID, super, super, super nominal, almost no fucking risk of COVID at all. Fucking sadness. We live or lived in a world that valued the elderly over children. This decade has been wild. No shit. No shit. Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I don't know what the fuck happened. 5'6" woman weighing 135 isn't typical of heart attack victim. Pfizer stock price has been declining drastically for a long time now. The profits they made from the virus are in the past. What people don't get, Pfizer's a throwaway company. They're going to take most of the blame. Notice how people aren't even talking about Moderna. And Moderna, by the way, for those of you that took the Moderna product, you realize that that's their only product, right? Like, Moderna has never had a product go to market besides the COVID-19 vaccine. That's 100% true and fucking terrifying at the same time. Pfizer's a throwaway company. They'll make more money off of the side effects caused by the jibby jab and by lockdowns than fucking the vaccine ever would have made them. The populace needs to embrace insurrection and abolish the status quo. I'm not going to comment. I so wanted to be here for this because I feel I was going nuts with everything. You know, that's the fucked up thing. It's gaslighting by placing it in an opinion column there, saying sorry, not sorry. Very narcissistic. I mean, it is. It's 100% gaslighting. They know they were wrong. They're factually wrong. I was factually right. I can prove it by their own data. Like, their own data is what I can prove. It'd be right? Like, here's another one. Give me 1 second. So here's a good one. For those of you that wanted to, are wondering like how we could have gotten it so wrong from the very beginning. This is on the World Health Organization website. This is by Dr. John Ioannidis. This was from the very beginning of the pandemic, by the way, even though it didn't get published until 2021. This was from the very beginning of the pandemic. It shows that the inferred infection fatality rate, where I'm at, under 70, was 0.08. Overall, it was 0.25. That is in line with the seasonal flu. We should have never done anything. This is on the World Health Organization website. This is numbers from the very beginning of the pandemic also. This shows that we should have never, ever, ever locked down, that it was always in line with the seasonal flu. This is a peer-reviewed study on the World Health Organization website. I was right. They were wrong. It can't even be debated. Like, they admit it. By having that on there, they admit it. I mean, what the fuck? Here's another one. I've actually read this whole fucking thing through on my podcast, but this is from the NIH website. This is the National Library of Medicine, NIH. This openly states that the pandemic is bullshit. It's on the NIH website. They can't even take it down because it's factual. Crazy, right? People lost relationships and jobs over this. People lost their lives. Many people lost their lives. Think about everybody that every young, healthy person who this would have been a cold for, they got a fucking injection and they died. Or their life is fucking horrible from here on out. Like, this is horrible. How convenient that they fattened the planet, then trotted out Ozempic. I called it. I fucking told you. I fucking told you people so. I called it. There was no doubt in my mind that they were going to. I said they're going to fatten people up, and then when they do, it's going to be fucking all weight loss drugs and all weight loss surgeries all the fucking time. Which, by the way, if you need to lose weight, here is our coaching deal. Please do check it out. 3-month coaching deal, or you can get the fucking a consultation. If you just want to join the app, by the way, if you just want to join the app, have live pre-recorded classes, stuff like that, send me messages. You can do it right here. I had about 8 MRIs last year, and then follow-up MRIs every 3 months. I still have to wear a mask in the MRI. It's fucking stupid. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. What the fuck? Why do they think someone will be mental tube with you? Insane. Let's see. What else have we got here? Any questions? Anybody want to talk about anything? Let's hit that up too. We're into the conversation. So my husband is a plumber and continued working through lockdowns. People were literally taking pics of him outside in his own work truck because he wasn't wearing a mask outside. It's fucking craziness. All of it was insanity, complete craziness. Like, a lot of you went full on fucking crazy. All of you that really liked my content before then, and we love how you say this, and we love what you say this, but you're so wrong about masks, and you're so wrong about COVID, and you're so wrong this. Fuck all of you. I was right. You look stupid as fuck. I told you so. Many fucking times I told you so. All of you were wrong. To the fucking people that like called me a conspiracy theorist, I was right. You were wrong. To the people that fucking dismissed me as you're not a doctor, I was right. The doctors were wrong. It's just fun. You don't need to be a doctor if you can read data for this shit. Like, they clearly either could not read the data, did not understand the data, or lied about the data. But anybody pretending that COVID was more than a cold was lying about the data, whether they realized it or not. Anybody pretending that we should have locked down to try to avoid the fucking virus was wrong. Anybody that pretended that 6 feet was a real fucking number was wrong. Anybody that pretended masks are going to stop a virus was wrong. Anybody that thought that it was a good idea to get injected with an experimental gene therapy produced by historically corrupt companies and historically corrupt industry that have liability protection was likely very fucking wrong, and likely going to find out how wrong they were moving forward. Anybody that believed it's 100% safe and 100% effective, you're a fucking idiot. You shouldn't have believed them. I'm sorry, but you shouldn't have believed that. With everything that was going on, how did we end up on, oh, we've got a new cold virus. For a new cold virus, we've had new cold viruses for fucking millennia in our species. How did we end up on experimental gene therapy, not of nature, that's never been tried before with no long-term testing? Like, how the fuck did we end up there? Like, how did we go from, oh, new cold virus to doing everything differently than we had done for any other cold virus, even though this cold virus showed to be fairly benign with a highly defined at-risk group of elderly people and fat people? How do we end up on injecting everybody with an experimental therapy with no long-term testing? Like, that's on purpose, people. That is, they guided to the fucking jab because it makes no sense to do so. Like, it is the first of its kind used on an entire population level scale. We didn't even hey, this is a brand new fucking treatment. Maybe we should try it on just the people that really are at high risk. No, they wanted it into the arm of everybody because supposedly it would stop the spread, but it doesn't stop the spread. They openly lied. Like, when are you going to fucking accept the fact that you've been openly lied to? You've been openly misled. The people that did that stuck a fucking experimental fucking product in your goddamn arm and destroyed most of society to fucking get to the point where you think you need that fucking product. It is reality. I know it sucks for many of you because many of you need to realize that you were indeed stupid as fuck, but you were stupid as fuck about this. You allowed yourself to either be coerced or terrified into making some very stupid fucking decisions. Wake the fuck up. Please. I want all of them to condemn the truckers for standing up for people's rights to choose the jab. to keep their mouth. They need to. They need to be held accountable. Teresa, how are you? Would be interesting to see how many politicians brought shares of pharma. Yeah, that would be very interesting. Very, very interesting. Think about all the isolated people that ended themselves when just seeing another person could have saved them. It's so much. There is so much that was done. That is so much that is wrong. I cannot get over the fact that people are not like we should be wanting tribunals. People should be facing charges. People should be being held without bail. You get me? We should be holding people so they can't flee to a fucking non-extradition country. There should be many people answering for why they fucking did what they fucking did with how it turned out for our fucking society. Many people. Fauci is definitely one of them. So is Biden. So is Trump. I know people don't want to admit that, but 15 days to slow the spread, essential, non-essential, fucking, Operation Warp Speed and still pumping the vaccine, that's on fucking Trump too. We need answers from everybody. We need to hold everybody accountable. The people of the United States need to start realizing that we are the power. We are the actual power. We need to recognize that we are, and we need to then stand up as people and make sure that they understand that we know we're the power. Because right now, these people are just dictating to all of society what you're going to wear, what you're going to fucking put in your arm, like how much food you fucking have. Like, they're dictating this shit. They're saying what stove you can cook on. Fuck these people. Freedom. Freedom. If I want to use gasoline in my car for the next fucking 50 fucking years, I have the freedom to fucking do so. Freedom. These people are dictating. They've got people used to, I'm going to tell you whether you need to wear something over your face or not when you go outside. Anybody that accepts that shit is perfectly accepting, like, well, they don't want me to use a gas stove no more. They're telling, like, if they can convince you what to wear over your face, if they can tell you how many people, if they can openly, straight ass, dead ass, look into a camera and tell the American public that you shouldn't have all of your family over for a fucking holiday, they think they own you. Get that through your head. If they feel that they can stand in judgment and ruling of you to the point where they can tell you when you can go outside, they can tell you what therapies you need to fucking get, and they can tell you what people you can have at your house, if they even think there's any circumstance at all that says that they can tell you not to celebrate the 4th of July, not to have people over for Christmas, not to have people over for Thanksgiving, anybody that did that should never be in a position of authority again, and we should hold them accountable. They should be facing serious charges. We should have tribunals for these people because they felt that they could fucking tell America and people what rights you have. They acted as if the Constitution did not fucking exist. Any politician that has made any fucking any move in any way that's unconstitutional based off of this shit should be removed. This is not rocket science. That it's so fucked up that they're depending on people not doing shit. It's fucked up. They lied to a bunch of you. A bunch of you fucking bought it. Wake the fuck up. Let's take our shit back. Let's take our fucking freedoms back. Don't be stupid. God damn. Let me see. Some people wanted to lock down indefinitely. For a lot of people, like for a lot of these fucking seriously woke-ass people, their lives didn't change that much. They still get fucking DoorDash delivered every goddamn day. They mostly fucking entertain themselves with fucking video games. Their lives didn't change that much. It's the fact that they didn't want other people to fucking go live their lives that was the fucking problem. You want to stay in for fucking ever. That was my point from the beginning. If you don't feel safe, you can stay your ass the fuck inside. If you don't feel safe because I might have a cold virus that you could then get and then pass along, then stay the fuck inside. Stay the fuck away from me. It shouldn't dictate where I can fucking go, what I can fucking do, what businesses can and can't be open. People have choice. That was the problem. The thing, they took away choice. If you don't think that that's a fucking big thing, that is a crime against humanity to take away our choice. They need to be punished. All of them. All of them. People fell for it. It was 100% scam. Yep. Same here. Good for you. And to anyone who posts a face diaper selfie, let alone put your company logo on it, it's so fucking sad. My husband had to take 3 shots to stay in the military. I'm terrified of what might happen to him in the future. My deepest hopes that everything is okay for you, for real. So ridiculous, so just disgusting. Biggest problem with prosecuting the guilty is that they aren't going to arrest themselves. That's the issue. I'm telling, the people need to do something about it. We need to do something about it. They're not going to do it themselves. They're not going to come arrest themselves, just like you said. They're absolutely not. They're not going to arrest themselves. They're not going to hold themselves accountable. They're going to give themselves raises and pat themselves on the back and how good we did, you know? That's what they're going to do. Wearing masks was the beginning of the end for people's spine. This country didn't have a mandate, but most wore them anyway. Fucking sad. Sadness. Our politicians made speeches over the holidays and Thanksgiving, but they were hamming it up for the place. I mean, they're like when they were saying "Oh, we can't have the 4th of July this year." Fuck you. Oh, we got to watch out for the healthcare system. Build a stronger healthcare system. You're a public health official. Fuck off. No shit. People, you lemminged way too hard. They don't have they never had the authority. The government never had the authority to tell you that you were essential or non-essential. They never had the authority to close your phone. There should be no emergency powers. Emergency powers still should have to be in, the only powers that any politician should have are defined in the Constitution. There should be no emergency powers because they're not defined in the fucking Constitution. You see how that works? When they state emergency powers, we're no longer functioning as the United States. We're no longer functioning under a constitution. That's a problem. A big one. We had our governor saying, stay inside, wear a mask, and then the next week had pictures taken at a party with 200 people. Of course, because they didn't believe it. Because they know it was bullshit. They know it was bullshit. They know it was. Because it was clear that it was. That's another thing, too. They would lie straight to people's faces when you're like, oh my God, the COVID deaths are coming. They fucking lying straight to your fucking face. They were not concerned. They were not. At all. All right. What else? I got the coof this summer. My allergies were more crippling. I mean, it's a cold. You're going to get colds in your life, people. I see I'm too late. I'll just rewatch. Wanted to say hi. Thank you very much, Seda. I appreciate it. Any other questions, guys? I'm going to be done here in about 2 minutes. I'm going to get some other shit done. I got videos. I've got other videos I got to edit and get up and do all sorts of shit. Let's see here. Rules for them, but not for me. How are these people still in office? That is what I want to know. Why are we still entertaining this shit? None of them should be in office. None of them. Nobody that in any way upheld any pandemic fucking bullshit rules. All that bullshit was against the Constitution. People should have stood the fuck up. Lead singer of my favorite band posted an IG story of him getting the jibby. I don't blame him for wanting to tour again and make a living, but why a public spectacle? Because they want to fit in. That's literally why. That's literally why. So, all right, folks, I'm going to be live again tomorrow, 1 p.m. I might do a live later on. Come on, do some other stuff. Hope everybody has a great fucking day, and we'll talk more tomorrow. By the way, again, here's how you can join the app. Just $10 get you access to the Hunger Management Support Group, my food, activity, that sort of thing. And here is, by the way, the coaching deals and the 30-minute consultations. Please do take us up on that also. I hope all of you have a great motherfucking day. God dang.